What is going on, buddy?
Hello!
It is Pickers here, and welcome back to Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. When we left off, well, we had finished out what is left of Kanji's story for the time being.
Yes.
We're going to go into Yukiko's and did a little bit of that, but because I was trying to look something up to see what's going on in this, we're doing a quick pivot for the day. Because I was trying to figure out, I wanted to know what it was exactly that makes you unlock the stories of the To Be Continues.
Yeah.
Because we're running out of bookmarks.
We are.
And so I looked it up in a non-spoilery fashion, and essentially the way it works is that we had to beat one of the main four, which opened up, you know, the replacement group, and then we found more people, and that slowly opened up things. So apparently we need to play through one of the stories of the Persona 3 cast up to, once again, another roadblock, because that's the way it'll go. And that'll open up one of the other cards that's up there above us. And then we play that character through to the end. And once we do that, that's supposed to open up most of the rest of the routes so we can work our way from you all the way down and finish out every story in the get-go. We want to try and do it that way because if we run out of bookmarks, then we have to do all the fights over again and all the skipping. So by doing it that way, it'll all work out in the end in the best way possible. Saving time.
I was tempted, but you made a good point of if we do Akihiko, then the only one you'll be voicing after that is Teddy, and then it'll just be all
and then it's
me throughout the rest of the other ones.
Yeah, and I don't know who's behind the cards, so...
And I would not have a break.
Like, I would have voices whenever we go to the beginning there, but then, you will have... There will be no breaks on that train.
Oh, God, Teddy's face.
I guess easiest to do. Also, the one character that we are the most acquainted with, Mitsuru, we haven't even seen in the game yet.
No.
But I feel like when we jump in with AIGIS'S, we'll probably see Mitsuru. Because, you know, the teammates. So, let's jump on in down that road and see what waits for us on the other side. Also fitting because, you know, kind of sister-esque of
Are you awake?
Labris.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all,
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
Let's go! Interesting.
A plane.
A plane, huh? Well, this is gonna be you.
May 1st, 2012, 9:30. Is it AM or PM? AM, assuming.
It would be, it'd be AM, because it would go...
PM. It's totally nighttime right now. Men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. 30 minutes have passed since the special assault team took up their positions on the landing ship.
The SAT.
Surrounding the stopped passenger plane. Their captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski masks and thick tactical visors to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet is in his right hand as a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 0900 hours, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7500 squawk code during passenger boarding.
Okay, so this isn't the plane.
No. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during passenger boarding, only half the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. The 10 crew members brings a total of 178 hostages thought to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping.
Or is this the plane landed?
The following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers, all of them covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed with what seem to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question has moved to the front of the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and is stopped there.
Interesting.
The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Pretty sure that's Loxus's voice actor.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
The captain turns towards the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to their specified post to take up positions. I don't know if this is AIGIS saying it or not, but it is now.
Well, no, because this would be the monologue, so...
The only thing to do now is to see what happens.
Yeah, this would be AIGIS'S monologue.
Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, but their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
The captain mutters to himself, deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning the hijackers' objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. That is not good. They don't want to talk it out. They'll not talk it out.
Yeah.
An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare as time ticked by. After 15 more minutes had passed, got the music jump scared me. A slight change in the situation was reported.
What?
All emails and calls going through stations near the airport are being checked, but at the moment no messages are thought to have been sent from inside the plane. It appeared that the hijackers had confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passengers' cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are two possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or a passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely.
Before that happened, I was almost wondering if the reason for the radio silence is if everyone got sucked into the shadow realm, if you will.
The shadow realm?
I mean, unless everyone got stuffed through one of those little tiny TVs that you got on the back, little screens on the back of the airport seats, like, go in there, phew. But, you know, if there's the phone there, unless they got left behind, we'll see what happens.
More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostages there are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means it's all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. The details of the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team had assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness.
Oh.
It's a remote EKG monitoring device that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
He stressed the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
If we don't wrap this up within the hour, looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers had boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. Though if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within the hour.
Well, fuck.
A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision.
Gotta blow that bitch open and take it on.
That same day, 10:30, at 10:30. God.
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
Okay, Loxus. No one understood the sudden withdrawal order.
Yeah.
Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not what? Are not the brain. I said not on the brain? Listen, this is no one talks like this. So
Yeah, it's a robot, so
the
fair.
men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best to put to use by precisely following orders. Just another group approaches without sound. Its members are dressed differently in suits and trench coats, but all of them are wearing black and sunglasses. At a glance, it is clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. Nearly 20 of them gathered in one place. They are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're in the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
20?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately, as if he's heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
MIB? It's Men in Black? Alright.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. The group of men in black parts when one of their number in the rear steps forth. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team who watches in silence. What is this music?
This is from Persona 3.
I know, but I've always hated it.
Yeah.
Looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl.
Oh.
She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few more steps forward and removes her sunglasses. That girl is me. No. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is Aigis saying that.
But it makes no sense. Well, that's never done that in any of the other things before.
This is not Aigis talking, but it is now. The captain had tended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gasped in the face of her crystalline blue. He quickly regains himself and frowns.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes.
Are you shitting me?
There is no time to waste quarreling.
See, this isn't Aigis talking.
This is the first time the game has never done first-person perspective, so of course I'd be confused by that. Everyone's always done it from their mind, but now it's all of a sudden third person.
Yeah, no, this isn't Aigis. The girl looks at him fearlessly despite the armed team surrounding her.
Yeah?
The absurdity of all is what helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She is clearly no ordinary girl.
Are you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. Captain closes the distance to the girl, and while he stops short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
Lady, I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl's completely unruffled as she speaks. It's like she's a machine or something. The captain, yeah. See, it's like a storybook. The captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry. Like
it's the first time the game has ever done this. So I mean,
third person. I've been doing Aigis' voice for no reason. This
how
whole
are we supposed to
time.
know?
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
I mean, if you want me to take over, I can.
I mean,
Totally up to you. Until it, for some reason, switches into her first-person perspective afterwards. But
for the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. No, because like when you read, it's that's your you voice. Get it? You.
Yes.
After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch. This is an audiobook now.
Yeah.
But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
I think he's gonna say 30 seconds. After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair car to the group she's leading. The captain's fist tightens nervously. Since there are few uses for a stair car, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think that a strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. But there's no hesitation in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a roofless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
The closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
I can jump.
More than enough. What's the point of half-assing it like that?
The captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. If she's replacing the SAT, then she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but
Now, let's begin.
at least it was warm up for her voice, I guess, if I
Yeah.
do have to do it at some point. The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns towards the passenger plane, and squats down.
What's she doing?
The captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she will do.
Yeet!
At first, he assumes she is going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy and send her team in from a different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Does she plan to make her move while using this stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe them? The captain discards the possibility. It'd be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly one moment, and in the next, she is no longer in sight. By the time the captain realizes she's running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. Her slender body launches like a cannonball from the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Yep,
Way to go, Queen.
That's our girl.
Yup.
Even the SAT members voice their surprise. Everything. I just think SAT meaning like fucking like
Yeah.
the SAT tests. The girl's leap arcs a distance of over 10 meters.
She's good like that, though.
10 meters. That's 30 feet, right?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, because like a meter is 3 feet. So. It's clearly that's a yard. What's a meter?
It's around there.
Okay.
So
It's
don't worry
clearly
about it.
beyond the capabilities of a human being.
Yep.
Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. For her, it's not.
Yeah.
She looks at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movement of a security camera.
Yeah, about that.
He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her hand to her back. Right hand to her back. The captain notices that a special knife coated gray from blade to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the side of the aircraft. Is she cutting the plane in half?
Boy, I hope so.
Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
That's just crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and unlocks the hatch with ease.
Let's go.
Once the thick, airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, he begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own.
Maybe.
Captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes.
Who in the world is she?
The doubts he had dismissed rise within him again. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain, sitting in the pilot's seat. The other is a man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it. But he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back on the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain.
Uh-oh.
He cautiously cracks open the door and looks towards the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. But the passengers were gathered in economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming into the darkened plane and from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining, and that's shining in.
Yes.
Shining in. That's unlike the regular ones. And within that light is a silhouette.
Of a
Before he
boss
can
bitch.
react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy blows follow.
Pa pa.
The The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around in surprise to see the intruder. A blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. She first lays the man on the ground and then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it's only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts.
Wasn't even dangerous.
The seam between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. If taken apart into disassembled pieces, it will look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens a man's arms to his seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he'll be unable to stand. Lol. While the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes meet his and insist on silence as she leaves. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There's a man in each of the aisles on the left and right. Neither seems to have noticed her. The passengers and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her heat sensors picked up from above the plane.
What a bad bitch.
Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. He judges he can easily be disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type as the downed hijacker. From what you can see, these two are model guns. The girl
Makes it
swiftly
easy.
pushes aside the curtain, and grabs the closer man's right wrist. The hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl, stops moving for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With a pained cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground, then smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arms to the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he's no better than a worm writhing on the ground. The last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards her opponent's face like John Wick. The button travels at immense speed, though it was only launched from her fingers. The man tries to shield his face, but he's too late. He groans in pain when the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass.
Kill shot.
She easily jumps over the 3-seat-wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There, she repeats the same procedure she used before. Their weapons are immediately seized while they're restrained on the floor. The passengers are only now grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
The passengers erupt in a cheer. There is a sporadic applause as well.
I was ahead of the curve on that one.
But there's a slightly hysterical tinge to it in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He's extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity.
Is this one of those sly, like one of the passengers got switched out?
All the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head.
Classic.
She knows without looking that it is the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passengers' cries of relief suddenly turn into screams.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. She knows there is no danger of being shot, but she is not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes
I believe.
to his demand and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up, as expected.
Yep.
And you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and back. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain leading into first class. Two culprits both react at once, but it is too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the stair car had closed in. Nice. First, they pinned down the man standing in front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowers the hand gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist.
No.
So focused he was on the man to burst to see that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He's immediately tripped and restrained as he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there was any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand.
No, sit.
But no one arises from their seat. She glances towards the men in black and they nod back in acknowledgement. Seems the crisis has been averted! The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper team gives a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment.
The real culprit totally got off with the regular people. It's classic stuff. All 3 of the original ones were plants. Then there's 2 that were there, but then he's gonna get off with the rest of the people.
She stands on the stair car and turns on the blue designator light, waving it in circles towards SAT's position. It is a signal that the crisis is over!
What the fuck just happened?
On receiving the sign, the SAT on standby start talking amongst themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes.
Ah!
There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
Can you believe this
You know
shit?
what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Captain,
About
who
that.
are those people? Is that one even human?
Nope. The captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor. But I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, I certainly can catch 2 of those people very specifically out of a group.
Uh-huh.
The one in the center, very much so.
Yep.
And then just a little bit to the right, there's
With the
there's just a
hat.
defining feature on that one that really helps it speak out above the rest.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I have to process the fact that a lot of them will have changed a bit because I'm trying to make out the hairstyle on the one that's to the left. That stands out because they've got a little fucking thing going up looking like fucking Percival DeRollo or some shit. But yeah, the rest we'll just have to see what's going on with them. But
Yep.
It's supposed
we know
to
what's
be
going on
cases
here.
that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police too.
I looked it up and the C's team now is this takes place 2 years after the events of The Answer.
I figured as much, yeah.
So the third years are like 20 now.
Though it's all
Yeah.
some private enterprise, so technically there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
Yeah, it
A
is.
search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
Ooh.
That's fancy. Shadow.
Yeah.
He turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. He's at a concert now. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them.
I bet.
Her team may have shamed them, though they had done nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later. But then, out of the corner of the girl's eye, near the entrance of the luggage carts at the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Who the fuck are you?
What? This is just popping up in front of you in the plane?
Oh wait, that looks like Labras.
That absolutely is. And there's
Yeah.
also the red hand glove bit thing going on there.
Interesting. The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling.
The art doesn't help on that one.
No.
Looking like a fucking ghost.
Yeah, to begin with, given the heightened security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed, yet the figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure's nowhere to be seen.
Spooky.
Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
Oh, what a professional. Fucking
The
Christ.
girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. That light blue dress the figure wore. It was very similar to one she herself had once. Yeah.
Yeah.
When she was on the run.
Uh-huh.
On the lam. It reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. Oh man. I keep rubbing my nose because it itches because of allergies.
Yeah.
Yay, allergy season. The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. The mission does not end with taking the culprits into custody. In truth, along with defusing the situation, security and safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. This fact was not revealed to the set. The passenger was originally seated in first class, but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully through the restless passengers. It is not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks towards the passenger in question.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
Oh!
Oh.
I guess. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
Well then. The woman who answers has long, shining hair that would make an impression on anyone. Even sitting quietly in her seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But Aigis knows the woman well.
In
Yeah.
fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked. Especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it.
You think?
They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing. And they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things. Though if I'm right, it's already too late.
Were you transporting Labras somewhere?
Uh-oh. In response, Aigis instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
Well, I had a real big one that wouldn't fit in the overhead luggage rack, all right?
Your sister.
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over. But I was carrying something sensitive this time.
Well, you fucking know what happened now.
Boy.
Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility's security or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. Aigis can tell that she's impressed with their audacity despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments. This incident will surely go down in history.
Oh my
You'll
god.
go down in history.
Mitsuru's eyes bulge at the unexpected comment.
Never change, Aigis.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag and... That's it. Enough about underwear.
She forces a cough and steers the conversation back on track. Look at her. Aigis was so sure of herself.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I
I've
get it.
solved the mystery, Scoob.
Actually, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research.
Yeah.
My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
There?
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Aigis have many bitter memories associated with the name.
Oop.
A pall hangs in the air. But a radio transmission from one of Aigis' team cuts the moment short.
Aigis speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aigis questioningly and she nods.
It's as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
Oh
Oops.
boy.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aigis inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighs with some
I
exhaustion.
could've used one.
Aigis interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1,
Member number 1.
Oh my god.
the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
No.
Sorry, girl.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that her vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Hell yeah.
Understood.
Let's go. Aigis answers loudly and snaps off the police salute as she's finally gotten the hang of. I wonder
Hey, at least she's trying.
I want to know how long it took for her to get that right and how she thought it was the first time she tried it.
Hey, now you gotta lock in.
Now
you
do.
gotta lock in.
God, I should have let you read. Fuck.
Yeah, I tried. Well, next time, if they for some reason just give the P3 crew with their introductions of a visual novel-esque third-person thing,
God.
then...
I just felt like I read a whole chapter out loud to the class.
To be fair, if you're reading a book that has, like, 30 chapters in it, and all of a sudden you get to chapter 9, and it flips from first-person to third-person perspective, you're not going to be prepared for that and know what to do. It was a really weird turn for some reason that I wasn't ready for yet. But...
Let me get some water quick.
Alright, you go ahead and do that.
God.
I am Aigis. No.
Stop. Man. I've been talking so much.
And you'll just be doing more. But...
I am Aigis.
Hi, Aigis.
My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. As my name implies, I am not human. I'm a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by one of the... Whoa!
You got it.
I malfunctioned for a moment. Apologies. It
Getting
is
in character.
created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy.
Shadows. Demons of the night, Ababas.
They are called Ababas. They are called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with the special power of personas. One's persona is said to be the power to wield the shadow within. They are two sides of the same coin. Though one cannot have a persona if they do they not... God, she talks so weird! Though one cannot have a persona if they do not also have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and a body close to that of a human, so my mind could maintain a personality. A heart designed for battle.
Let's go.
A body designed for battle.
Let's go.
I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose,
We don't talk about that.
but I now have a place where I belong. Somewhere I can make full beneficial use of my powers. That is the Security Department, Shadow Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives.
Better than
The Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. She is the scion of my creators, the Kirijo Group, as well as the one who has been given full responsibility for handling the shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All of our members are persona users or have similar qualifications. During operations, our guidelines state that the member with the smallest number has command. The number that I was issued was number 5. Though I'm not human, I am treated as a member and not a piece of equipment. Yeah, you are!
Let's go.
Moreover, my number is in the single digits. It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command of dangerous operations. In other words, I'm recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with results. There is another reason I am working my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. Its contents surprised me. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit named Labris. She is one of my sister units. She was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with other artifacts ever since. Labrys, a humanoid weapon just like me. It is possible that she has a heart. And if she does, I want to save her before she is misused. This is a mission, yes. But more than that, I feel this is a duty I must carry out. Place the bookmark. Finally.
Let's go.
Well.
Slap that down over there.
Bip.
All right. So how do you get... How's Aigis going to end up in
Conference
the TV
room.
world? Well, let's find out by going.
The next day, May 2nd, 2012. Okay, I don't know. He wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labrys as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it is difficult to set up large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly, and we got a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters were moved to a police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation.
Just sounds like a dachi.
The
It really
psychologists
does.
who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
Johnny,
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
Thanks, Sam. Not that anyone would expect you to be Sam.
He hands the tablet. Oh wait, I was so used to just reading in my normal voice. He hands the tablet to Mitsuru-san.
The Inaba area.
Inaba.
Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
That high?
It would seem to be the case.
It seems that the culprit in this case has prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that is true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. AIGIS, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister. My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
Hi, Yuri.
I was just about to
She
say.
has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate. So she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment.
Also brings some kind of crazy, like, fucking
Unfortunately, the
axe.
majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment.
And like fucking wings that turned into an axe, like...
Yeah.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
Oh.
Huh.
The aide nods his assent and returns to his station. Losing how to speak, forgetting how to speak. I really am. Wow. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
And AIGIS. Frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labrys. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labrys.
No!
Destroying a sister unit. It will be a painful experience if she too has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
Heck yeah.
Ooh boy.
Well, you know what? As it rolls up,
Oh.
you wait right here. Because we'll see what happens on May 3rd, 2012. Next time.
Oh boy.
All right, and then we can get into the nitty gritty of fighting and punching and kicking things.
Yeah, not reading to the class.
Well, yeah, I guess I already got to beat a bunch of shit up, so that was pretty dope.
But I didn't get to do it. That would have been cool to,
I'm
but
sorry.
It's fine.
Well, you can prepare yourself.
Yeah.